Hey, what's up? My name is Tyson Brown and I want to welcome you to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. This is Australia's top health and fitness podcast to help you lose weight, look good with your shirt off, feel confident in your body, and finally achieve the goals you want with your health and fitness. So 5 days a week, I'm going to be giving you top information from myself and also from leading experts in the field so you know everything you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. From nutrition to mindset to workout, everything is covered in this podcast and you need to go nowhere else. So like I said, it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, in your ears with quick actionable segments that you can implement straight away, because the most important thing is that you can put these things into play. Also, if you listen all the way to the end of the episode, you're going to get 2 special gifts that you can download upon listening to it. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to get those free gifts, okay? So let's get into the episode. Good morning, and how are you today? Good morning. It is actually not even morning, it's afternoon. It is 12:30. I've still got some energy left inside of me. I've just been food shopping, and I was like, oh shit, it's time to do another podcast. And this one, again, is just recorded on the mic. It might sound a bit echoey because I'm currently in my fridge as I'm doing this, putting my groceries away. But to be honest, my gigabytes of usage is nearly out and I've still got 5 days left, which means I can't use it, which means that I have to be a bit stingy and do this instead of doing it live. But that's okay because you guys get to listen to it anyways. So today, what I want to talk to you about is something really important that happened to me last week, and it's about messing up. It's about overeating. It's about making mistakes. Because a lot of people think that you have to be perfect. You have to never go over your calorie deficit. You have to always be making sure you hit your macros. You have to you have to obsess over every little thing. And if you don't, if you go over it by a little bit, you're fucked up. You ruin all your progress for the week and you need to start again next week. And the truth is, that is the worst mindset you can have. Because when you have that mindset and when you're focusing on I have to be perfect all the time and I can never overeat, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Because the truth of the matter is you are going to overeat at a certain point in time. And there might be one day where you have breakfast and you've already gone over your calories for the day. You know, you're supposed to eat 2,000 calories and you manage to eat 2,500 or 2,600 calories. And you're like, holy crap, I've just ruined my diet. And it's like, have you really just ruined your diet? No, because what you've actually done is you've made a small mistake and you're going to get back on track. You're going to get straight back on track. And as long as you're consistent with your calorie deficit, as long as you're focusing on eating on a calorie deficit most of your days, you're still going to lose weight. Now, it's going to take a little bit longer than usual, I get that. And it's going to be a little bit harder, if it takes a little bit longer, and you have to be more consistent about trying to stay in that deficit for the rest of the days. But if it's just one small hiccup and you're more consistent than you are not, if you're more consistent than you're not, you are going to lose weight. And it just makes it a little bit more of a slower process. But it doesn't mean that you've failed or you've ruined it or you're never going to make progress again. It just means that it's going to set you back just by a little bit. And once you know, okay, it's only a minor setback, I can just keep pushing forwards, I can just keep making my goals, you're going to get there eventually. It's just going to take a little bit longer than you think. So I'll give you an example. Last week, I was focusing on being on a calorie deficit every single day, and I just happened, I was trying to get this umbrella out, I just happened to blow out one of my days by about 600 calories. And I was like, oh man, fuck, damn it. And I was really angry at myself. I'm like, why did I fuck up? But then I was like, oh, well, I'll just get back on track the next day. And so the next day, I didn't restrict myself like crazy. For the next 3 days, I restricted myself by a couple of hundred extra calories, and I still managed to lose weight. At the end of the week. And it's simply because I managed on my consistency. And I made a little adjustment. I didn't go, oh, I'm not going to eat anything the next day. I just made a small choice the next couple of days to make it more sustainable, because it's very hard if you cut out everything for the next day and you're starving yourself. Instead, if you know that you went over by 400 to 600 calories and it's Tuesday and you've got the rest of the week to get back on track, you simply just go, okay, if I'm over by 600 calories for the next 3 days, I'm going to reduce my calories by 200. And it's a little trick you can do. Or let's say that you've gone over by 1,000 and it's Saturday. Well, guess what? You get back on track Sunday and then you just keep following forwards. So maybe the week wasn't the most effective, and maybe you only lose 0.3 of a kilo instead of half a kilo, but you still lose weight. Because guess what? 3,500 calories is what is going to elicit 1 pound of fat loss a week, right? So if you eat if you're in a calorie deficit of 500 every single day, and you eat, and after the week, you will lose a pound. So if you eat negative 250 calories, let's say like you overeat one day and it throws you into eating 250 calories less as opposed to 500 calories, instead of losing 1 pound, you lose half a pound. But you still lose weight. It's just gonna be a little bit slower than usual. And a lot of people don't get that. They don't understand that just because they overate doesn't mean that it's ruined all their weight loss. It just means that maybe they're not gonna lose as much as they wanted to, or maybe it's gonna take a little bit more time. But the main thing is, you still lost weight. You're still being consistent. And that's what matters most. As long as you're consistent, as long as you can really focus on trying to do the 80-20 approach, 80% of your diet is whole nutritious foods, and 80% of the week, or 90% of the week, 6 out of 7 days, or 6.5 out of 7 days, you can be in that deficit and you can just focus on not eating over it. Guess what? You will get results. Now, like I said, it's not going to be as quick as you wanted it to. It's not always going to be exactly half a kilo or 1 pound. Maybe some days maybe some weeks it's 0.3 of a kilo or half a pound. But guess what? Progress is progress. And you can't forget that. You can't be like, oh, well, I've ruined it for this week. Because if you're still making progress, that's great. If you're still making progress, you're still moving forwards. And moving forwards is what's the most important thing. Because when you give up, that's when you fucked up. When you finally say, you know what, I've ruined it all, I'm going to start again Monday, you're just making the process so much harder, so much longer, and you're fucking yourself in the long run. Like, honestly, if you keep doing that, if you keep saying, well, it's Wednesday, I've stuffed it up, I might as well start again Monday, instead of losing 0.2 of a kilo, or what's that in pounds, 0.4 of a pound for the week, and you say, oh, I'm going to just start again Monday, and you lose no weight instead, you're just making the whole thing longer process, and it's just more of a struggle for you. So why not get a little bit of results as opposed to no results? And that just means being consistent. If you fuck up at breakfast, you eat lunch and you eat dinner with just protein and vegetables, and you get back on track. If you fuck up on Wednesday, you get back on track on Thursday. If you fuck up on Sunday or Saturday, you get back on track on Sunday. And you follow that calorie deficit, and it's that simple. And as though it seems pretty simple, a lot of people seem to neglect that. They think there's some magic and you have to be definitely consistently in a deficit every single week by 500, and if it's not 500 calories deficit, it's nothing. And it's like, no, you're setting yourself up for the wrong mindset. And the only reason I know this is because that was me when I was younger. I'd always be like, I would actually get to like some days, I'd get to Friday, and maybe I fucked up on a Friday. And I'd be like, oh, that's it, ruined for the week, I might as well eat whatever I want. And then I'll just eat like shit for the rest of the week. It's like, what are you doing? And so you're doing what I'm doing, and that's self-sabotaging. And I don't want you self-sabotaging. I want you hitting your goals. I want you to achieve your fat loss results, and I want you to keep it. And that means there are going to be a couple of binges along the way. Hell, there's probably going to be a fair few. But guess what? If you, every time you have a binge, you go, okay, I'm going to learn from what caused the binge. I'm going to get back on track. And if you focus on that for a long enough period of time, and you just overcome the binge, and you keep being consistent, you're gonna get there. Now, it may take another 6 weeks longer than you thought, or it might take another 10 weeks longer than you thought. But guess what? You're still gonna get there in the end. You're a fucking tortoise, remember? This is the slow path. You take your time, you learn from mistakes, and you get towards where you wanna go. Maybe it won't happen as fast as everyone else. Maybe you're not gonna do that 6-week transformation like everyone else. But guess what? If you're consistent and you're learning and you're constantly pushing yourself forwards, you're going to get towards where you want to go. And once you get towards where you want to go, you're able to keep it, because you're not doing this crazy bullshit thing that everyone else seems to be doing. It just doesn't make sense in the long run, because when you think about it from that side of things, if you're always trying to do that, what's going to happen is you're going to constantly be going in this vicious cycle of what people have done before. They gain weight, they lose weight, they gain weight, they lose weight. And for you, if you can just constantly be like, okay, I only lost 0.5 of a kilo this week, 1 pound, or I only lost, let's say I only lost 0.1 of a kilo, which is 2 pounds. You still lost something, right? Not 2 pounds, 0.2 pounds. You still lost something. And that's what the goal should be for you. Your goal should be to be consistent 90% of the time, and when you fuck up, you get back on track. You don't throw it all out. You don't say I've ruined the whole day. You don't do any of that negative self-talk bullshit that people do. You just go, okay, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to get back on track, and I'm going to get it sorted. And when you can do that, I guarantee you, your progress, your consistency is going to get you towards where you want to go. Like I said, it might not be as fast, but at least you're going to get there in the end. Because the worst thing you can do is say, fuck this, I've ruined it, I'm going to start again next week, I'm going to start again next week, I'm going to start again next week, and you keep telling yourself that, and it's a year later and you haven't moved at all. I mean, if you want to do that, that's cool, but what a waste of time. Why even bother if you keep doing that, if you keep having that mindset? So work on changing that mindset. Work on fixing what you're thinking about, and work on constantly focusing on how can I keep being consistent? How can I, if you make mistakes, how can I avoid the mistakes I made? Like, if you do make a mistake, how can you avoid that for next time? Hopefully that's not too loud, but this is the end of the podcast anyways. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Focus on that consistency. You haven't ruined anything. You've only just had a little minor speed bump. You get back on track, you're focused, you stay in that calorie deficit, and you're gonna get towards where you wanna go. And don't forget, if you need a 6-week jumpstart, head to tysonbrown.com.au/bundle to download your free 6-week guide. Okay, until next time, speak to you then. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. So now you've listened all the way to the end. That means you get some free goodies. So what you can do is you've got 2 different options, or you can take them both. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet and a high protein 20 recipe meal guide designed specifically for you in your situation. These meal plans and this intermittent fasting guide are designed to help you burn stubborn belly fat and get in the best shape of your life. So all you have to do is go to the show notes, click on the download link, and they'll get sent straight to your email address. It's as simple as that. They're completely free. They're going to help you transform your body. So go to the show notes now and download your free guides, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.